When we are talking about an older property, most of the assets are they're going to be in the 70s and 80s. You need to take 50% off. Obviously, if the product is a 2010, 2020, the expenses will go down because it's the newest of the assets. Let's talk about the expenses. What do we look in expenses? Number one, property taxes. Property taxes is mandatory. Be careful when you look at the property taxes. A lot of times the property taxes are very low because the current management, the current ownership, they pay for the property less. So years back, so their basis is very low. It's our job as investors, as professionals, is to measure, to find out what is going to be the expenses of what's my real estate tax going to be as soon as they close on the property. So it's going to go up. Usually it goes up the following year, but it is going up. Guarantee it's going up. So do not rely on the old taxes. So yeah, what do? I like to take the percentage between 12 to 15% of the income. That's going to be your taxes. And a lot of times you can, if you are, for example, Miami, you can take the millage. I believe it's about 2.25 the millage. You multiply by the new purchase price. The new purchase price, you take about 85% of the new purchase price times the millage minus 5% discount if you pay on time. At the end of the day, it's going to be about 12 to 15% of the assets. We are going to talk about numbers soon as well. Insurance is a big one. Can you put AC, please? A little bit, yeah. Insurance is a very big one because it's another size. So it's because especially if you're in Florida, yeah, Florida really got hit the last few years. And we are talking something, just imagine, I own a property, 200 units, right, myself, for just an example, okay? I was paying $75,000 insurance a year, going back a few years ago. What if I tell you it quadrupled, almost $500,000? Crazy. So you gotta be very, very careful when you underwrite the insurance. Do not rely on the seller. Why is that? Number one, the seller may not have health insurance. Again, depending where you are, but I'm talking about Florida. Number two, the seller may have very limited liability insurance. When you buy the property and you're looking for insurance, guess what? The lender are going to have their own requirement, and you have to make sure you follow the requirement. So I like to, rule of thumb, we like to put, if the property is Central North Florida, I'm comfortable with $1,000 a unit. If you are in South Florida, we are talking $1,500 to $1,800 per unit. So this is what you have to gadget. I would look at about 5% of the income. 5% of the income, that's your insurance. Extremely important. Real estate taxes and insurance is very, very important. Even though you have the seller going to show a lower number, your number going to be much different than the seller. So it's not, does that mean it's bad? No, it's not bad, but you have to be aware. As long as you're aware about it and you do your numbers and you're comfortable with the numbers, the deal still makes sense, then there's no issue. The next thing, talking about payroll. Now, depending on the complex of the property, the number of the units, obviously, if you're talking about 5 unit, 10 unit, you're not gonna have a payroll. Guess who's the payroll? You are. You're bingo, you guessed it. You don't have enough money in the expenses to hire someone to do your, to collect rent, mind you, right? To collect rent, show units, right? Make sure units are ready, stuff like that. So you are the payroll. But when it's, if we're talking about 200, 300 units, for 300 units, we are talking about, it used to be $900 per door, now it's about $1,200, $1,250 a door for so many units. That's about also about 10% of the income. Unfortunately, it's like you need to have it because you can't operate a property without a payroll. You're not gonna go, if you own 200 and 300 units, you can't do it yourself. That's a given. You gotta put together a management team. That's going to be another subject. And then you have, of course, you have repair and maintenance. Repair and maintenance, that's going to be about 5% of the income. It's basically you have to put about $400 to $500 per unit in the expense line item to demonstrate the repair and maintenance.
Coastline management. Coastline management. Or
It's terrible. We need to make sure it doesn't come up. Yeah. Excuse me. Okay. Then we're talking about utility. Utility is also obviously utility is very important because if you 1970 construction, 1970 1980, you better believe it, you are paying the electric for the people. So you need to make sure your rent is up, and otherwise, if your rent is not enough and you feel like you cannot raise the rent, what you can do, there is what they call the RAB program, RUB, and you build them back. There's a software that you can purchase. Basically, the software build back the tenant the utility for every single tenant, so you don't have to worry about it. But you have to pay for it beforehand, then get the money back. Sometimes we don't like that RAB system. My rent is very high, so it's all included utility. But obviously, if the property is a 1990 construction and higher, most of the time, the tenant has their own meter for water and their own meter for electric, so you don't have to worry about that. And by the way, that's one big headache that you can avoid to see that the property has its own utility, its own meter for every single tenant. Then, of course, you have management fee. Management fee is that's belong to you. You have to charge managing the property 3% of the income. That's English standard. Sometimes can go up to 4 or 5%. But 3%, 2.5% to 3%, that's industry standard what people charge. And then there is a capex reserve. Capex is you want to put some money in every month from the operating income. You need to put some money aside for a capital improvement. Even if you don't use it, the bank, you need it. The bank wants it when you're underwrite a deal to use that number, and it's usually about $250 to $300 a unit. Right. So how do we gain value there? How do you get a hold of this whole? You get the income, you have the expenses. How do you go line by line, and you want to make sure that you're not overpaying for the property, because for example, let's seller is paying an X amount of taxes and X amount of insurance. For that price, for him, because his base is very low, he can make money. But guess what? When he sells the property, he's going to recommend a higher price per door. You need to make sure that the number works based on their purchase price when it comes to taxes. So what you want to do when it comes to taxes, every county, wherever state of Florida, could be Texas, could be New York, every county or every city, mind you, they have what they call a millage rate. So the millage rate is basically calculate the taxes. So let's say the purchase price, for example, is $1 million. You take so they don't charge you for the whole $1 million, they charge you for the 80% of it. So $1 million, you take 80% of it, that's $800,000, about average $800,000 times the mileage. Let's say the mileage is 2%, $16,000. So for $1 million, $16,000, that's the taxes. Now, if you're a good boy and you pay on time, or you pay before the end of the year, a lot of counties will give you a discount, sometimes 2%, 3% to pay in full. And therefore, that's another nice saving to your bottom line. It's always about reducing expenses. When you reduce expenses, guess what? Revenue goes up without even raising the rent, mind you. So that's what we call about. That's when it comes to the taxes. Insurance. How do we calculate insurance? So let's start with what about the roof? Take a look at the roof age. If the roof is very old, you better believe it, your insurance is going up. If you're in a flood zone, you're going to be required to get a flood zone insurance. Number of building, right? What's the market condition? So different market have different pricing. So as an example, South Florida, It's very high as opposed to Central and North Florida. I got a question for you. Yes? Can I go to different insurance agency and get different quotes, Danny? I cannot. You cannot. No.
Why not?
Why not? Because everybody's going to the same place. Like that, everybody is going to the same place. Florida in whole does not have like 10, 15 insurance company, one or two. Everybody is going to the same place. So a broker, most of the time, a lot of time, if they're smart, like insurance broker, they're going to ask you to sign exclusivity. Because otherwise, they're going to give it to somebody else, but then that somebody else go to another same place.
A lot of insurance companies don't like to cover people in Florida anymore.
They cover, they have to by law, yeah. But it's very limited, but more and more companies are coming in. And by the way, great news, no hurricane this year. So far, knock on wood, the weather people are not very happy. Where's my hurricane? There's no hurricane, there's no storms. Okay, nothing on the horizon, thank God. September, by the way, guys, for those of you who just joined in today, we're talking about expense for property. So when we come to South Florida or Florida in whole, insurance is a major crisis in this state. So thank God this year there's no hurricane and there's nothing in the map. And September is the peak did you know that September is the peak month? So any day now, I was telling my colleague, any day now, they're gonna come out and say, by the way, lower than usual hurricane season. It's great.
Does that affect your taxes next year? Or there's no
Not taxes, just insurance.
insurance, so that doesn't.
Doesn't affect insurance. Yeah, guys, the hurricane does not affect taxes, only affect insurance. So question, let's say there's a hurricane in Fort Myers, and I am in Orlando or Miami. Am I going to be affected? You better believe it. Yes, they're going to be affected. The whole state get affected. We all get punished. Yeah. So thank God there was no hurricane this year, and knock on wood, it's not over yet. Not over yet. So when you do insurance, it's extremely important to take a look at the edge of the property, the roof, number of buildings, how many acreage, flood zone, and market condition in total. And by the way, the broker will give you everything, but you want to know, you want to have an idea. So we talked about Central Florida, Central North Florida, $900 to $1,100 a unit. South Florida, $1,400 to $1,800 all day long. Yeah. And obviously, the newer the property is, the price may go down. Not necessarily by a lot. It's not going to go down to half. Now we are talking about payroll. So we talked about taxes. We talked about insurance. For those of you just joining right now, we are talking about property expenses. When you look to buy property, the income is one thing. The income is very, very important. More important, Danny, are the expenses. Because at the end of the day, it's all about the net operating income.
And so what about expense?
Salary, unfortunately, I don't know. Look, I don't want to give a bad name or bad rap to the broker or seller. However, I'll give you an example. I'm a seller, and I manage, for example, let's say I have 200 units. And I know the bank is looking for payroll. 200 units, we need about 4 people. Every 50 units, you need about a person. So it's about $1,200 a person. The seller, the potential seller say, you know what? I know everything. I can manage myself 200 units. Therefore, I don't have any, my payroll is 0. And that's okay. They can put 0, they can put whatever they want. It's your job to do your own underwriting and use industry standard when it comes to payroll, which is about $1,200 per unit. I don't care how the seller operated. That's not my problem. So for example, 200 unit, we need a property manager, we need an assistant manager, and we need about 2 people outside. Maintenance tech, I don't think you want to get a handyman, although a handyman can help, but you want to get a maintenance tech. What does it mean? 2 people, one specialty in air conditioning, another maybe electric, plumbing, stuff like that.
They work on the property.
They do work on the property exclusively alone, exclusively.
Do you give them free rent in exchange for the services?
No, by the way, none of my tenants or not tenant, employee of the property should get free rent. No. What you want to do, you want to give a discount. You give a discount, 10%, 15% discount on the rent. You never give free rent because it can be used against you. not paying, they can really don't. If you give you free rent and now you know the employee is not doing the job or her job, you want to get rid of them, good luck. Right? You can get rid of them.
Yeah, big fan.
Right. Right. Listen, I got 25 years experience, Danny.
Sure you
Okay, there's a lot of good information coming your way, people, ladies and gentlemen, every single day, God willing, excluding Shabbat and holidays, we are going to go live to you, and we're also going to put together some very valuable courses for you guys, for free, for that matter. Okay, that will come down the road. Anyway, right now we talked about taxes, we talked about insurance, we talked about payroll. I am going to take questions and videos after this in a few minutes. Okay, we're ready in a few minutes. Right. Now we're talking about repair and maintenance. What does it mean repair and maintenance? Listen, you have plumbing, electric, people are leaving, right? You have turnover units. What do you have to do? When a tenant, look, the best thing to do when a tenant leases up, to renew the lease. By renewing the lease, that's going to be another class. By renewing the lease, guess what? You are saving the company sometime hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. Trust me on that. Because now the apartment is not trashed, and now all you have to do is just continue the lease. And by the way, all renewals prices are going up. And how do you renew them if you already renew one time? That's going to be another topic to talk about, but yeah. So definitely you need to be able to have enough money for painting. Turnover unit, call it turnover unit, 5% of the income. The next thing is contract services. What is contract services? For example, let's say you have a swimming pool. Okay, swimming pool, let's say you have a landscaping. Don't tell me you're going to go right now and clean the pool. Oh, you're going to clean the pool, you're going to collect rent, you go to the landscaping? Why, we're what we had as an owner. No. You need people who is doing it for you, and you will. You're gonna hire people, contract services, for pool, for landscaping, right? That's extremely important, and that's also coming in part of the expenses. And then you have utility. Utility, of course, we talk about utility. Utility is it's a landlord dream where she or he does not have to do utility. How do you do that? If the property is new enough, 1990s and higher, usually they pay their own utility. It's the best thing. But if it's not, most of the units, or a lot of the building, a tremendous percentage of buildings are older, 60, 70, 80, do not have utility meter to their tenant. Only for the electric, but not for the water. The water is the big money.
Is that expensive to convert?
You don't convert 70 product. You don't convert. It's very expensive. Numbers don't work. So the best thing to do is to you pay the utility. It's okay, and then you pass it on to the tenant. I don't know if I like to do that. I prefer to have my higher rent. So as an example, let's say the average rent is $1,000. Now you're gonna pass in the utility. Let's say the utility bill back $75. I rather get $1,200 and include the utility as opposed to get $1,000 and charge them $75 for the utility. What's better? But sometimes you have to do that. I get a lot of DM. People tell me people can't pay the rent. So if you have to lower the rent, make sure always bill back utility. Mandatory to bill back the utility. And you don't do it, there's software that does that. The next thing that we're talking about, another part of the expenses, is administration, marketing, we call it general administration, G&A. And that's, for example, office supply, software for the rent roll, could be a couple $1,000 a month, that'd be $3,000 a month. Also marketing. By the way, marketing is extremely important. And even if your property has got the best exposure, and I assume you're smart enough to buy a property with great exposure, yes? Traffic, stuff like that. You want to make sure you advertise in Facebook, you advertise at apartment.com, you advertise in Zillow, you advertise in Instagram. You don't stop advertising. So somebody asked me, gee, my property is 100% occupied. Why do you have to advertise? Number one, you're not a good manager if your property is 100% occupied. Your rent is too low. And number two, you always want to have people on standby as backup, on standby, the one ready to go sign a lease. call them back. You don't know what kind of period you're going to go to. You can go to slow period. Always have marketing budget in mind so you have the money to advertise, whether it's Facebook, apartment.com, Google, Instagram. We find that Facebook and Instagram work the best. Also apartment.com and also Zillow.
And when the property is 100% occupied, how much do you usually raise the rent by?
If the property is 100%, excuse me?
How much are you going to raise the rent by if it's 100% occupied?
If it's 100% occupied, I need to raise the rent minimum 10%, 10 to 15. But wait a minute, not in one shot. If my property is 100% occupied and I have 200 tenants, 200 units, I can't just send a letter to everybody, hey, your rent is going up. No. It goes up gradually when the lease expires. And sometimes you may have to give them a package, appliances package.
Which is what?
Appliances, refrigerator, stove, a new package to go to, right. Then the last thing we have, which is a it's really CapEx, the capital reserve. CapEx reserve, it's not really, look, when you have a property, I hope you're smart enough to put some money inside to do CapEx, for improvement for the property, from curb appeal, right? Sometimes put new kitchens. But there is another line item that lenders must look at it. It's mandatory for everybody. It's called CapEx reserve. We usually use about $250 to $300 per unit to calculate the reserve money, and just it's you have to have it because in case you need it for change carpeting, for minor turnover, not for big.
Safety net.
Safety net that you need to have, and the lender required to do it. Okay, so basically this is everything. This is what we're looking at. So look, and the natural to keep things. I like to keep things simple. Keep it simple, stupid. For those of you just joining right now, we're talking about expenses. It's simple. Class C, 50% across the board. What is Class C? Class C, 70 product, 80 product. Class B, 35 to 45. I would say 45 is a good number. What does it mean 35? It's your job as an operator, after you get it, to lower it to 35%. But when you buy it, you look at 45% expenses for a Class B. And then Class A, about 40%, 40. And there's going to be something very, very interesting, that, you're going to be able to make money. Not even by raising the rent. Rent stay the same. Reduce your expenses. And how do you do that? Contract services. Renegotiate contract services, the landscaping. Renegotiate contract service, the pool company. That's number one. Taxes. Appeal your taxes. Even though you use your millage and you use your formula, always appeal your real estate taxes. Why? It's free. The company do it for free. You give them a fee, maybe 15-20% of the saving. That's it. But what do you care? You just give it to them. They do all the work. Zero out of pocket. The next thing is, you need to build your own budget. And you need to show how the trend is going up with the income. But we can talk about it too soon. So when it comes to the expenses, so we talked about renegotiating contract services, appeal your real estate taxes whenever possible. Your insurance costs. A lot of times you may end up paying a lot of money because your time is of the essence and you have to close. Look for another company once you operate the property to replace your insurance. After 6 months, to see that you don't have any claim, and the minimum earn money is three months when you take insurance, and you're able to change it after the time. But definitely, after you own the property after 1 year, you'll be able to renegotiate insurance and get a better price. Utility, there's not much you can do with the utility because utility is utility. Although what we like to do, we like to change the bathroom valve, the valve that you excuse me?
The lock?
No, the toilet. The valve of the toilet, we change them. It's the 200 toilet, 300 toilet, 400 toilets, and believe it or not, you save a lot of money because that's when the flush toilet can be a lot of money saving. We're going to talk about it too. Water is running. And by the way, when the water is running, do you think tenant going to call you? I'll call you. Not gonna call you. Oh, my water is running. Number one, I don't know how much they care. Number two, they're busy. That's not their job to let you know my water is running in toilet. It's your job, as property manager, to go check on them at least once a week. If the bill is okay, if you don't think the bill is too much, that's okay. But why not? Why not sending people to check on it? And why not change the valve? So basically, this is it. This is all the information I have right now when it comes to expenses. There's much more to talk about expenses, but in a nutshell, 50% you save of the income. All right, let me see. Anybody wants to come alive? Anybody has any question? Let me see. Okay. We talked again, guys. Today we are talking about how to calculate expenses, and do not trust the seller when it comes to expenses. Are the seller liars? I'm a seller. No, they don't lie. They don't lie. But sometimes, they like to walk the numbers, if you know what I mean. Excuse me? Fluff them so they can get more money for their property. I always said, as long as the seller uses English to standard, and whether it's a payroll, whether it's insurance, whether it's taxes, but don't show me a 70 product for 30% expenses. I've seen way, and look at the cap rate. Now I'm giving to you on a much higher cap rate because sure, your expenses is very low, and it's not real. Anyway, let me see anybody's quick question over here. Anybody wants to come in? Today we have 3 people here. Anybody wants to come in? Oh, somebody here is saying he works in commercial real estate tax appeal. Yeah, DM me, absolutely. DM me. Absolutely. You're right. The number one expense line item, taxes, and the challenge to reduce taxes. Yeah. Okay. So somebody wants to offer me for a photographer. Yeah. Let me see if anybody has any question. Anybody else? Danny?
The BRRRR method, you're familiar?
I'm not.
But buy, renovate, refinance, or keys? You've talked about that before briefly.
Which one?
The buy, renovate, refinance, repeat. The BRRRR method?
Oh, the lab?
The what?
The which method?
BRRRR method.
What is that?
Buy, renovate, refinance, repeat.
Yeah, I love that. That's my favorite thing.
And you build well.
That's my favorite thing to buy, but value it only. You buy existing property, you renovate, you get the heck out. Yeah, so guys, it's very, very important not to get tricked by the broker when it comes to expenses. Very, very important because it's really, yeah. Somebody wants to know, can your 50% income strategy work in Israel? It's harder to things to rather. 50%, no, I don't know. I'm not familiar with Israel. Forgive me. I can get back to you on that if you wish. But the 50% work in US. Yeah. Let's see. Anybody else wants to join in? They can join in. Nobody coming in? Nobody coming in. Well, it's not. I think it's lunchtime. People are going to eat now. They don't want to see me, my ugly face. But if anybody wants to come in, I'm going to invite them to come in. And yeah, guys, don't be shy. It's real estate. We can talk about anything. It doesn't have to be real estate. Okay. Let me see. Anybody come in? Yeah. So we cover everything. I want to make sure we cover everything, Mr. Daniel. Right. So let me see a second. Yeah. So we talked about the income, the expense ratios for the income. And it's really, really important not to make a mistake with that because, how many times I look at a property and I say, wow, look at this number. The numbers are through the roof. Sure. And my favorite thing when a broker just send me, you know what my favorite thing, Joe? Daniel? Not the income, net operating income. They do their own expenses. They just show me are you kidding me? Don't give me the net operating expense. I want to see the income, the gross income to the property. Let me do the expenses. Right? Because what happens is that's how they get you. So we want to make sure that you guys are not being tricked and you do your expenses because it's not. By the way, don't wait for anybody to do your homework. You owe to yourself to do your own homework when it comes to expenses. Yep. Anything else, Danny?
No.
You got everything?
Yeah, I think we covered everything.
If somebody wants to come in, I think. Let me see. Right. Accept. No, it's not. Yeah, how you doing?
Hey,
How are you?
pretty good. How about yourself?
Good, good. Where you coming from?
I'm calling from California.
Oh, California. Like, where in California?
Yes, Bay Area.
Very nice. Cali is brutal place. We love California, you know. How you doing?
You're amazing. I watched you for, I think, about 6 months now, something like this. To inspire me a lot.
Thank you. So number one, thank you again for the support. We need it. Spread the word out. We like to help the young people. The young people today, by the way, are really, I believe they're lost and they need handholding. So we're trying to really be there for them.
So help me with the handholding. I really want to get into this, but it seems like the multi-family business requires a lot of cash up front. Like this is my first like tackle, and I can't overcome this.
How much cash are you working with?
I would say I can liquidate about 200K ish. Not enough.
I would say that, no. So when what do you look? Do you have 200,000? Yeah, it's not enough, but maybe you can start small.
I can.
You can start small. What do you see in your area? You see duplexes, you see houses. What is the? You think where is the nature of it? What is happening there in that area?
I'm not looking to buy specifically in the Bay Area. Like I don't mind it to be all around the states. I have 2 rental properties in Texas. It's a single family, and I'm looking to get out of the single family. Like it's kind of boring, to be honest.
Right. So you want to get some 200,000. They may get you as like a 5-unit, 4-unit. Can you get another guy to come in with you? Also put 200,000.
Maybe he's watching right now, so maybe.
Let him come in. Let him come in alive. You can talk to him. It's much better if you have a 400,000, right, to buy something a little bigger, over $1 million. And then you can improve the property, make up $100,000, get a heck out, buy another one, another one, another one. That's how you build wealth.
What would you say is like the good amount to start with, like to do the first deal?
You can start with 200,000, but the problem is what you tell me. You don't want to do single family, right?
I don't mind to do single family, but the end goal I would love to do the multi-family.
No. So what you want to do? You want to start with single family so you can build up the cash flow, right? Flip it, flip it, make 50K, do it again. Now the 200 become 300, 400, 500,000, and then you can go into multifamily. That's one way. Another way to do it is to, if you are you licensed now?
No.
No, okay. But if you can network with people that multifamily and make connection with other big operator, right? Find him the deal and third commission. Don't give me a commission or consultant fee even. Put me in a deal. Make me a partner, small partner. But you want to make sure you get reports every single month so you can learn and visit the property, see what you're doing. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And by the way, that's not even related to $200,000. You can still do that at the houses.
I see. Okay.
It's work.
What about getting into like smaller deals and like cheaper neighborhoods? I was able to find like 20-unit apartment buildings for like 500K, 600K.
Well,
but the rentals are like $500. I don't know if it's like being a landlord for like.
Islam. So 1 second, let's talk about 20 units in LA.
I'm sorry.
What is 20 units 500,000?
Yes, it was in. I can tell you, but I don't remember. I think LA, one of the.
Yeah, no, the city. Got it. What's the average rent?
It's like $500, $600.
And you're paying that's 1% rule, and you're paying that for 500,000.
Mm-hmm.
So here's my question: if you improve the property, where can you get the rent to? Can it go up?
Maybe a little bit, but you're talking, $50, $100 maybe.
That's fine, but the only thing is that area decay, or do you see improvement? Do you see any? in life, or you think it's gonna stay the same, the area?
I think it's gonna stay about the same. Like there is a decent demand, but I don't think it's gonna go either. Be more better or
I rather you buy 2 single family home with that. Good price, good basis, and then fix the flip and get out. That's my opinion. Because that also the $500, by the way, it's not the best demographic, and you have evictions, and you have to run after them for money, and they're really it's gonna become a little bit tough. Unless you tell me it's in a path of progress where you see there is a development coming in, or you see stuff coming in, then yes, it's okay.
I mean, there is a progress, but not too much. I think the upside. I mean, there was is a 20-unit building total. 16 of them are currently they can be rented, and 4 they're they need a dollar remodel.
Then I ask him, make him an offer, 250.
Yeah, I can love
Okay, double. Right? And then get out, 500,000, you can get out. That's the price to get out, Fix that 4-unit and get out, That's what you do. Lowball. Don't be shy. Listen, do not be shy to make offers.
Okay.
Do not be shy to make, not 1, not 2, 20, 30, 40, just send an email, make offers, and show them your cash. They want to make sure you can close and you have cash to close.
Okay.
Sounds good?
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you for coming and keep watching, and thank you for your support.
I will. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Let me see this. Yeah, so here's a classic example, okay, where people are, it's 500,000 is not a bad price. It's not. The problem is the demographic is not the best, and you might be stuck with the property. So if you pay less than 500,000, you are more likely to get out and make some money.
It's a high crime area. It's very risky. It's not.
I would still buy it for the right price. For 250, it's no brainer.
20 units, yeah.
Right.
With a total 50,000 per unit.
No, it's no brainer. No brainer. Let me see who's coming. Somebody wants to be in. Okay, you in Miami, you want to see me? Yeah, why not? The tax lien, somebody wants to know what do you think about tax lien and deed. So if you can explain that, you want to buy a tax lien? That's another business by itself. We don't do that. Yeah, that could be good too. Anybody else wants to join live? Nobody else wants to join live. We are gonna go for lunch break very soon. What do we have? Anybody else here? Daniel?
If anyone wants to ask any questions, otherwise we're gonna be signing off soon.
Sign off and come back tomorrow? All right, tomorrow, what are we talking about tomorrow? We have another subject, right?
Surprise subject.
Tomorrow we're going to have a surprise subject for you. We love surprises, and you're going to be happy. Guys, trust me, you join in, it's free. What do you have to lose? You know what? I don't care. You can eat lunch, okay? Don't when you join me. I don't see. Do what you want to do. You can have sex, okay? But listen to my show. I'm telling you, you can learn a lot, okay, in the show. Guys, we love you all, and I really, really hope to see you very, very soon.